Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United Viewer. Welcome to episode 23 of the Trinity podcast, powered by Dango. Yes.
Early.
Very keen. Very keen.
Because we try not to rehearse it, but really, I think your cue is as soon as I say powered by Dango, that's your cue.
Yeah. No,
I don't know why you always get it wrong.
No, because you got these pauses where it's like it feels like that's the moment, you know.
Yeah.
So it's then it's like, no, you still got more to say. But yeah,
there's a lot
going
of
forward.
There's a lot of calculations going on in KG's head at times. Going, is he finishing here? Is that done? Is he going to remember Dango? Whatever. And this whole time, KG's like this. He's like, I'll take a risk. Boom. You know.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah. It is. Episode 23, powered by Dango. My days. Oh,
I feel like one of them school productions, them primary school plays, bro.
Oh, the awful.
And when the woman goes to the front, it's the line.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even mean to press it. Then Owen was just winding you up. It's not like hardly anything's happened this week, is it? Really? Do you know what? I want to bring this to you, KG.
Yes,
I want to bring this to you. Now that we saw Ten Hag's thing that he's got his extension and that, yeah.
Yes.
Did you have any? I'll always be honest.
I will be.
Did you have any light bulb moments or times where you kind of went Tesco or whatever and thought, "Rah, they haven't actually given him a new thing. It's just a little trigger. This is funny the way they phrased this." Did you have that moment or not?
Guess what? So it was announced that Fabrizio had the sirens thing.
KG was live. You were live.
I was live. Yeah. And I didn't like it. It didn't compute to me what was happening
at the beginning. Nobody knew that bit though.
No,
it was
but
just,
then even still, I was like, "Oh, what do you call it?" It said, it's done, and I was like, well, I knew this was going to happen, so I'm kind of waiting for silence. Right. I was more so like, like on the thing of I'm just waiting for them to announce Xerxes or one of those things. I was kind of not like anti-climax, but then I finished live, and I was like,
that's 1 year.
Nothing's happened. There was a big moment of, wait a minute. This is wrong. This is not what we said. This is, again, someone's gone, you had this piece of paper and this is the answers to the exam. And guess what? Totally different exam. You're doing double math. You're doing higher maths and you thought you were scanning for something else. And you're like, well, I'm not prepared because all the answers that I thought we had, we don't have. Head coach.
But wait, do you feel everything's changed then or not?
Oh, everything has changed, but nothing has changed for Ten Hag, which is mad. Everything has changed in terms of the whole club has gone, and this is me and Owen having a wicked conversation today. The whole club has changed. However, Ten Hag's, when we spoke about, when we was thinking, you're going to get think about 2 Trinities ago. Yeah, and we were talking about, new team that's coming in, you have to have this and this, that, and the other. Oh, we were so wrong. We were beyond wrong because now he's bringing in more of his people. Yeah, his veto still is there. They literally came with their tails between their legs to say, you know what? We're sorry that we went on this long trip only to end up back with you, and now we're going to give you what you need for you to be successful in this role.
And you know what? What I've even thought about, Owen, I haven't had a chance to catch up with you actually because I've been thinking. I don't think it's as big as backing as we think. That's where I'm at. It's not. I think it's the perfect. It's
a compromise.
Middle
compromise
point.
Contract.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect compromise.
Extended probation.
But that's what I'm saying. So where I've gone, they're backing him. They're doing this. I've gone. Hold on a minute. What they're actually doing is they've changed everything, and obviously, usually, you can change the manager, but they've gone right. We'll leave that for 1 more year. Let's see what you can do. Can you right the wrongs of last year? And whilst you're doing that, we're not going to overcommit to you. They haven't given him 3, 4, 5 years and said, this is our guy. What they've done is we've changed a lot. We do believe you can fix it. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be here. But we're not going to commit mad finances to you and make mad decisions.
No, but then flex.
I don't think that.
But KG's right. KG is right in this regard, in the sense of everything has changed around him, but nothing's changed for him, really.
No.
So, you know what I mean? That's maybe the sort of the confusing element. First of all, I really enjoyed yesterday, Man United fans collectively, and I throw myself in this, showed ourselves up of how shit at maths we are, because there were so many people yesterday going, well, no, it's 2-year contract extension, new contract. And you go, no, because he only had a year left on his contract. And they go, yeah, and now it's to 2026, got a new contract. You go, no, it was going, he had 1 year left already on his contract until 2025. And he had an option year. We just triggered the extra option year.
Yeah,
so
he hasn't got anything.
Same
new.
Contract. There is nothing new in that regard. And they go, no, new contract. You go, no.
So some people are still saying
so people, there was
a new
genuine because they were saying
no,
but it said extended till 2026. His contract ran until 2025, and you go, yeah, but there was the extra year that added on to, like, nothing's changed in that. It's the same terms, same contract, same everything for that. It's again, I think everyone has, to an extent, got what they wanted, really, which is he has been backed publicly because they've put out the statement. They've allowed him to go and find new people. They're going to back him financially in the transfer market. Like, that's all still going to happen. So they backed him in that regard, and they've gone through this process. They've gone through this process and said, you're the best candidate for now.
Exactly.
For now, but from Ineos's point of view,
got a comma in
they haven't put them from Ineos' point of view. And again, I do think this is the best thing to do for now, because
I do.
Ineos haven't backed themselves into a corner. We're not going to do what we did in the past, which is, they're going to Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho, 3-year new contracts by Christmas. They're gone. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going, look. As I think I pointed out this morning, I think it was Rob Dawson. He did an interview with the Muppeteers. And I think he said, like, well, they did sit down and then they realized, actually, because there are quite different viewpoints here, this new deal that we would put together is quite complicated. And actually, we don't really have the time to do that at the moment, because we're getting in all these other people and we're meant to be working on transfers, and players are back in pre-season on Monday. Like, we just don't have the time to put together something that could be this complicated. Now, let's just extend your contract as is, bring in the new people, because we've done this big review and we've saw all these different points of failures, and we're going to bring in all these bits of people, and all these people are coming in, all that kind of stuff. And let's see how the season goes. If it's going great, we've got 2 years to sit down and talk over a new contract and figure things out and tweak things and change things. What we don't want to do is rush into anything right now and have a situation where certain people aren't happy and then we mess things up for the future. We've given ourselves more time here. My only concern about this whole outcome, is my biggest concern, is I don't know what message it sends to some of the players, because I think those people that were like, I'll outlast Ten Hag, will probably still feel the same way, because in that essence, nothing has really changed there.
No, so that's why, and that's, you know what, the first bit, everything you said to that point there, I'm in total agreement with you. They're running out of time. They want to be smart, but I believe that there is a level of, they could have sacked him. We have to always remember the fundamentals of what he spoke. They went out their way to speak to other managers, and they could have got rid of him. So their intention is, well, you're our guy. He's still their guy, because they had the perfect opportunity. We finished 8th. Yes, we didn't win the FA Cup, but then it would have been seen. I don't think Ineos really care. The way they put their stuff together, they're like, you know what? We're in now. Even with down to the shamelessness of how they treated the women's team, the layoffs that people have got, the redundancies. While they say they're the mob and stuff, they don't really care about what people are thinking. They're going to do what they believe is best for the club. And the best move for the club is saying, you know what? We still want him to feel comfortable in his role. He doesn't feel that he needs to be, his role should change to head coach. And I don't think he was going for that at any point of it. He's like, no, listen, I'm not, like, while things went wrong at this club, they're not all down to me. And what they have done now is said, so they're really showing a level of backing. They showed a level of confidence because they could have got rid of him. They showed another level because they brought in more of his coaches. And when I'm looking at the targets, they still feel kind of Ten Hag-y with the fact of, these lot are putting an eye on them. Dan Ashworth and all the others are
still got a beat. You can tell he's got some say in there. You can
tell. He has power, because these are players that he knows almost, or these are players coming from a league that he's very well versed in as well. So I would say that you can tell that he's still significant, and they still showing confidence and belief in him, because they wouldn't have done that. They would have said, you know what,
have that,
none of that stuff is gonna,
and he should have that, because this whole veto thing, I think it's been way overblown, to be honest with you, because either end of the spectrum on this one doesn't really work. Like, if a manager is just given players, how is that going to work? Whatever, because there's going to be instances where he goes, well, I don't want this player. Why are you giving him to me? And then the people above him go, well, just do something with him. That's how it works. So like PSG, that's not worked out very well, has it? Now, if the manager's got total control of recruitment, that also isn't good, because then you get situations where they're not looking at the best players. They're just looking at their own interests, and you can get into sort of very sort of dodgy circumstances there. So I think this idea that, like, Ten Hag's still got the veto. Well, I think most managers probably would be in that regard, be in that position anyway. And the worry about, he's just still just going after the same bunch of players, or whatever. If Dan Ashworth or Omar Barada or Jason Wilcox or whoever had any issue, any of these transfer targets, we wouldn't be going after him. We wouldn't be going after him. It's not as if Ineos had come in, had a couple of minutes with Ten Hag and gone, terrified of him. We're just gonna back down. We're just gonna back down to everything he says. So clearly, the collaboration's already started there, hasn't it?
I think it's like, I do 100% agree. Like, this is the perfect middle ground. But so KG, I agree. You're saying like they've backed him, sort of keeping. They've shown. But then what they've also done, though, which I quite like from the business side of it and their side of it, is they've not, like you said, they've not backed themselves into a corner, because they've not gone one backing too far, because the next level of backing is to give him a new contract. Like, is to do it, is to say, here's Ten Hag till 2028. Hold that. Anyone saying he's not our guy, he's our guy. We just gave him a 4-year contract. They're saying absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is the uncomfortable. Well, it's not really uncomfortable. It's how it should be. And I think after a season that bad, they've gone.
Difficult.
We're not just gonna give you. You have to show us something. And here's where, and absolutely, and make no mistake, I think we all agree here, or we'll be interested to see. If we do not get good results next year, he's gone.
Flex, but guess what? There's no football, there's no football manager, in the top 6 that can have a terrible fell and then not be under pressure.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, everyone's
right. So that's what I'm saying. So this thing where people, because what I'm saying is like, I was like, at the beginning, I felt like once I saw that is an extension and everything was kept the same, and I was like, actually, they haven't given him much more years. It's just continuation. And I realized it was a more, like Owen said, an extended probation. It's extended probation with backing, though. Like, we're going to get you players, and we've changed the structure for you. They've encouraged him, or one way or the other, whether he's decided I need to change, which is the evolution of Ten Hag, or they've politely said, you have to change some things, work with us here, whichever one it is, could be either. He's also changed his backroom staff. That wasn't in his plans. He's had to do that.
Well, you say that.
As things have gone wrong.
Laurie Whitwell said that in his, when we were talking about the goalkeeping coach this morning, they were saying Ten Hag reviewed a lot of the backroom staff and came to the conclusion that some of them needed to be changed, i.e. the goalkeeping coach, because he'd been there since Ollie. And when you think about it logically, why have we got a guy that was working with David De Gea when our goalkeeper's now playing out from the back? We should be getting a goalkeeping coach that's predominantly based on playing out from the back.
Which should absolutely change. But where I feel like they haven't given him those years, there is that room where Ineos is perfect for Ineos and it's perfect for Ten Hag. Yes. It's perfect for Ineos because Ineos can say, if this shit goes wrong, let's be thinking of this from a business. Let's take our sentiment because we want Ten Hag to do well. If it doesn't go well, they haven't given this new guy 4 years where you got to pay him off 15 million. You can't get him out the door. We're in massive, massive trouble. They're also, with some of the players that we're looking like we're going for, although like De Ligt is a Ten Hag guy, but if Ten Hag left, we're not going to be mashed up with, we're all right with De Ligt. That's still a good, 42 million. It's the new price bracket. Hopefully he takes this wage cut. He's experienced. The Xerxes thing. He's young. He's up and coming. It's not crazy money. Could still
be sold on. Could still sell on.
Still be sold on. You see what I'm saying? So even with or without Ten Hag, it works. And then the Ten Hag side of it, it's we've given this guy his new structure. We've given him competent people above. we're going to give him some more time because it is still a year extension, but it's 2 years left. So there you go.
And you see, the thing that you're saying is this is the thing about structure, because now we're actually operating how we need to be, where you haven't overcommitted yourself to the manager, but then you're going for players in the age range of this is not their last contract and they're playing for more. You know, the Lit has something to prove. As people, while he's like, they can say failure at Juve, failure at Bayern. Well, guess what? You have a hungry player that wants to prove himself to people. Xerxes has stuff to prove. Holand has something to, and that's the Owen was making a point about the players are going to be like, well, we're down tools because so and so and so. Well, guess what? Now that I believe it's going to be even harder for players just to down tools because of the in terms of the structure. Because in terms of Dan Ashworth and
they're going to spot it. Yeah, they're not going to have it.
They have to now. There's work that they're talking about bad cop that Ten Hag and I can't remember Van der Gaag was doing. Yeah, they're saying, look, well, if these are the liaisons, guys, that will step in at their moments and say, hey, what's going on? There's going to be people. You can't just put out dross is what we're talking about. And then the other good thing, people talk about, has the club changed? Are we seeing the difference of the changes? Well, purely because of having an owner that is going to Carrington, that is in the building, they're looking and saying, that can't be like that anymore. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. When the Glazers were there, they had no issues about Carrington. Why they never came? When they haven't had the embarrassment of the water leaking on all the fans when you're there in your executive box. And it's like, mate, you own this place and it looks like this. I bought all my mates from the chemical plant. I bought all my mates from Ineos. Like all future business deals I want to do. And you lot can't even serve chicken at your apparently world-class stadium. They don't want that embarrassment. We want to be the best. And now having someone in there on boots on the ground, it will make and it is making a huge difference. Going forward, we'll see the fruit of someone being there regularly and caring about the football side more so than the commercial side. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that what we have seen recently, I think we've seen quite a few sort of lazy takes on a few things. And again, I think it's because we as fans don't know what to think. We're so used to the immediate reaction to everything is just, well, we're rubbish, we're terribly run, so it's all going to come to a disaster soon. But even if, again, like you look at the structural changes that have happened at Manchester United over the last 5 months in any form of business would be nothing short of monumental. Massive, you're talking about, again, we're talking CEOs, directors, chief financial officers, let alone, minority ownership and board of directors members changing and what have you. Like, that is monumental too. So to say that nothing has changed is just, again, I think a lazy.
It's not true.
No, it's not true. Now, obviously, there are parts of that. Look, if we get to the end of the transfer window and we operate how we've operated over the last, 10 years in the transfer window, then you'd go, wow, I tell you what, those people, they've really got to pull their fingers out a little bit, haven't they? But you're then looking at someone like Christopher Vival. That's not even long term. We need your help now. We need your help now.
Yeah, we
realize that, look, Dan actually came in earlier than we probably thought, but still a bit late. We realize Omar Barada comes in a few days' time, but it's July. People are already starting to do some business now. So we need your help now to get this machine up and running again. And guess what? If you do a good job, we'll look at something long term. We'll look at something long term. So I think to say that nothing's changed again, you have to kind of separate it. Has anything changed on the pitch right now? Well, we don't know. Season's not started yet. Has anything changed in the transfer market? We don't know. The transfer window's just opened a few weeks ago. So that stuff we'll have to wait and see. But from the structural point of view,
everything has changed.
That has changed. Fundamentally, that has changed. And again, for me, I look at it as, well, that's what we've been asking for however many years. So I look at that as a positive.
Can I ask you some? So I know you lot, listen, look at me knowing what's going on in the news. Henry Winter, he's spoken about Rashford. Rashford, is such a funny discussion for us lot. And I don't know where you lot are. Some mornings I wake up, this is the original flip-flop. Some mornings I wake up.
We said we're part of the problem. We said it on the Flex KG show.
Well, no, but I wake up some mornings, I'm like, we need to sell Rashford. I wake up other mornings, I'm like, we need to keep Rashford. And I don't like, today, I've had one of those this morning on my morning show, I was like, sell Rashford, pure profit. Then I'm driving, I'm like, Rashford's had rest. Yeah. He's not gone into the Euros. After Henry Winter comment thingy, you know, he loves the club, he's dedicated, he wants to prove himself. I'm like, do we keep him? You know, like that's I'm so.
I'll be honest, KG. I've made my mind up. So I'll start. I from that Flexing KG show, I have made my mind up from then, and I stuck with it. I have. Even this morning on TalkSport, I was on with Alan Brazil and Ray Parler.
Yeah.
And that was just one of the questions, because, you know, as soon as a little hint of Rashford, even if it's not even real, like it's from the Sun or whatever, or whoever it's from, everyone will just talk about it because Rashford in it. They was like, oh, so do you think they should sell him? And I still stuck to my what I think. I said, I know it splits opinion across the whole thing. And I said, I've toyed with this. I've been on one side. I thought he should go. But I said, now I'm giving him one more year. I am utterly. And I know what comes with that. You idiot. You know what you're going to get. He's not going to, or he's going to give you one good year again. And next year, I know what comes with that. I'm entering into that knowing what can come from it. I know. But I'm going to be honest. When it comes to it, like you're saying, of like, just sell him and take the money and whatever, or just get him, like, just let him go. He doesn't want to be here. I'll be honest with you. That sentiment for me is still it's going, just give him one more. I don't want to see, I really want to see it work for this guy. But this is I know we've said this before, with a lot of it. This is my final, like, it is, I swear. This is my final shot. If I don't see anything, bro.
Sure.
All right, sorry, that was just UEFA confirming that we can both play in the thing in Europa. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, UEFA.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I knew that would be all right.
Do we have Todibo as well? Can we have Todibo as well?
Yeah, in it. Fucking hell, give us some more things. All right, yeah, I'll finish off. Basically, I want Rashford to stay until further notice.
Owen. Do you know what it is when it comes to Rashford? I do think it's somewhat of a redundant conversation because he's not going anywhere. Like, he's not that when that Sun thing came out the other day, and it was like, oh, he'd go, well, he's not going anywhere. Like, even when there were concrete rumors of him going to PSG, like, he wasn't going to PSG at that period of time. Like, it was manufactured allegedly by, you know, his own sort of parties to try and make sure certain things got over the line, maybe got a bit extra on his contract, whatever. But I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I think that most clubs probably know that, and the only way that proper interest in Marcus Rashford would be generated is if it came out legitimately, like, he actually is going, he wants to leave. So with that regard, he's got a lot of time left on his contract, and it has to work out. I don't think it has to work out for the sake of, like, oh, because he might leave Manchester United. I think it has to work out for the sake of salvaging his career. I think his career is at a massive crossroads right now. And I think that I would hope last year would serve as a massive learning experience for him, in the sense of, look, 12 months ago, I had the world at my feet. I was being touted as one of the best, most informed players in Europe. I was scoring all these goals like KG's doing there.
Everyone was copying
my celebration and what have you. I'm scoring goals at the new camp against Barcelona. Like, I'm doing it all. And in 12 months, that's gone. That is gone. People don't think I'm all that anymore.
Out of the England squad.
I'm out of the England squad. I'm not going to international tournaments. I'm not even playing for my club that much. Before, I was indispensable. Rashford has to start. Now it's like, who kind of cares if he starts? Actually, I prefer if he didn't. You know, like, it gets into that kind of territory. So I would hope he would have learned from that. But the key thing for him is, it's like, for me, this season, if he does it this season and he's great this season, that ain't enough. We've seen him do it. We've seen him do it for one season. The key thing would be for him to come back. And maybe, look, he won't hit the level that he did a couple of seasons ago. Maybe that was just peak form. But the thing he's got to do is, when he does drop off, it's not got to be a drop off to here. It's got to be a drop off to, like, here. That's his peak. It drops off to here. Because that's like what the best players do. The best players, I mean, look, some players nowadays, you know, people like Mo Salah or whatever in the Premier League, every single year it feels like even if they're not playing well, they're still getting 20 plus goals. Is Rashford that? Probably not. But what he needs to be is that, oh yeah, it's not been the best season for Rashford, but he's still getting like 15 goals or something like that.
You know what?
That's the thing for him. So it's not even necessarily this season. It's this season plus next season.
I'm not comfortable with the forecast because, again, every season, like, that's the hardest one, right? Every season, you have to step up. Like, that's normal, right? And, you know, Fergie used to say that he'd look his players in the eye at the beginning of the season to know if they were ready to challenge again. You know, and they're talking about people having a level of consistency, but I think it will almost be unfair. It will be unfair to Rashford to have a good season and people say, don't care about it. I want to see what you do next season. I think he needs to.
I think they would care.
No, but in the context of his career, though,
I know you're not
saying
exactly.
They can't be fully sold because they've seen it before. He has to go past the threshold of what we've seen before.
No, but then again, because it's almost that thing. It's like when you lot were talking and Saeed came on and he said, I just want my manager to win the league. And that's what I'm looking for. That's the standard I'm going for. If anything short winning the league, I'm not happy. And I was like, it's not an unrealistic expectation to ask for consistency from a player who's been inconsistent. To say, like, give me back-to-back seasons at least. Yeah.
Of just not saying hit 45 goals in both seasons, but give me a level of continuity.
Not even that Rashford, let's say back-to-back seasons. Even when he had his best season that season, it wasn't a whole season thing. You have to remember that too. There was like, what? How long's the season? 9 months? It was like sort of six out of the 9. Started off a bit slow, got into a big peak, and then had a bit of an injury towards the end of the season and kind of trickled off, and that went into next season. So you would really say, I want a full season.
Be amongst his counterparts in terms of the scoring statistics. I want him to be in amongst his, like, so what other players, because we started to realize, like, I remember everyone spoke about Leao and stuff, but because we don't watch their league, we had this thing that they're doing things in every game and they're not making any mistakes and everything's going their way.
Yeah, no, he's having a tough time. He's come to this Euros having to prove himself, and he's still not.
There we go. But I'm saying, because we don't watch all these other teams, other teams, they lose the ball. There's things that happen naturally in games, But then I'm saying, if he fell tremendously under the in terms of them goals that he should be hitting on assist, and that's what we should. So on a longevity of season, you say what most players in Rashford's bracket, would you say 20 goals? How many assists? We'll put him in the bracket with the Sons and the Salahs of. That's what he should be doing, right? Am I right to say that? In that Saka, where should he be in terms of?
Where you want him to be getting consistent double figures. You want him to be someone like Rashford, especially when he's on song. He should be looking at 15 to 20 a season.
15 to 20 a season. Cool.
And also, given his position, I mean, this is the difference between sort of Leao and Rashford. Because I'm with you. I do think Rafael Leao is kind of overhyped out of a lack of seeing all the games. Yeah. But at the same time, when you look at his numbers last season, Leao, he still managed to get 15 goals and 14 assists.
There you know,
so you're looking at someone that, okay, sort of 15. You'd ask what the number of goals. That's probably where you want to be Rashford as like a base. I want you 15 goals. But then it's that amount of assists, isn't it? With Rashford last season, it was in all of he played 43 times, 8 goals, 5 assists. For Marcus Rashford.
It's very, very damning. It's just saying you can't dress it up.
No, I'm not dressing it up. I'm just saying that we just need to be. What I want is the realism in terms of the counterparts that we're comparing them to, because we don't watch these guys' games 90 minutes. We don't know what's happening. We get angry when Bruno loses the ball, but every other team lose the ball with their midfielders and stuff. We just need to make sure that we're in the bracket of what the industry is doing at Rashford's level. So if we're saying, you know what, we're looking at Saka and all these other ones, and everyone else fits, you're just not in that group with these guys.
We can do that. You know what I mean? People like Anthony Gordon are doing all right. People like
but that's the thing.
That's exactly what we can do. We're going there in a minute. Not only there's two sides to the Rashford thing. There's, like you said, there's the going rate, the industry standard, which is outside the football club. Then there's you're our main guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're the highest paid. Like what you do. Like, hang on a minute. You're not some kid. You're not some kid, bro. You're not Garnacho. You're not Garnacho. You're not Ahmad. You're Marcus Rashford, bro. You came through against Midfield in 2015 or whenever it was. Now
gave you main guy money.
Like you've built yourself up, Rashford the brand, Rashford the player, through hard work and through sample size where we can see that you're good, and everything you are as a person, as a brand and stuff. You're Marcus Rashford. So that counts. You can't just go now. Well, you know, if there's other left wingers who don't quite get the same numbers, then you know at least Rashford's. I mean, that guy at Spurs. I mean, look at their left winger. I mean, Brennan Johnson or whoever plays on the left for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, but I'm saying other top 6 guys, whatever, you know, who plays on the left, Gordon and Mudryk and, you know, the going rate. We're talking about going rate. Martinelli had a crap season last year. So he's about, you know, Martinelli was rubbish last year, or Trossard got about 8, you know. So no. Yeah. Sometimes learn the old school thing of your parents. I don't care what them other Pitney are doing. You're my child. You're my priority. Yeah. And I've given you the big dollars and the big responsibility. And within our establishment, you're not doing it. We're getting the young kid Garnacho having to go play over on the right-hand side because you couldn't adapt to do it. Okay, fair enough. So you're keeping your thing on the left. And this guy's outscoring you. This guy's doing.
And then people are turned on Garnacho. Rubbish. I tell you what, actually, this is really shifting the topic. But I want to get this off my chest.
Yeah, let's do it.
What I don't like is Rasmus Holand. Okay, he had a difficult tournament. I think it's fair to say he had a difficult tournament.
His first one as well.
From I've seen Manchester United fans do this because he had a bad tournament. He's shit. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's actually not that good. And you go, whoa, wait a minute here. What are we doing here? In the sense of he had a bad tournament. If we're getting rid of all of the Man United players throughout history that have had bad international tournaments, we lose some pretty good players, by the way. You can't judge people off international tournaments. On top of that, if we're then going into, well, actually last season, though, he didn't do that well, did he? Wait a minute. He was in a season where we were struggling. And we knew what we were getting in regard to a player from Serie A that scored how many goals the prior season? Was it 9? Like nine goals. And we overpaid, which was not his fault. He was still our top goal scorer. You know, he's still in a terrible Champions League campaign. When we went out, he was a top goal scorer in the Champions League. He still broke a record for the youngest player to score in a certain amount of consecutive games. What was it? 7 in 6 or something like that?
7,
at one point. So spare me this whole show me evidence, because we have seen evidence, we have seen glimpses, but I think as fans anyway, when they're at international tournaments, whatever, if we're not going to back them, then who the hell is? You know what I mean?
Oh, bro, you know what's so funny, right? Everyone wanted Benjamin Sesko at one stage. Remember, like when we just thought, oh, we're definitely.
Well, he's rubbish now because he missed that chance, isn't he? He's
bro,
terrible now.
Guess what? That's what I'm saying. 4 matches played, 360 minutes played, 0 goals, 0 assists, passing accuracy of 66%.
And he was licking off bare shots.
And 8 attempts, 8 attempts. But guess what? 2 average a match. But guess what? He's not like. Is anyone going to say that Benjamin Sesko is dead? Or like, let's have an honest conversation about Benjamin Sesko? No, there's no conversation to have. It's a good player. Just didn't, again, international. I don't know what's going on. We got Phil Foden stinking up the Euros. He's amazing. He's amazing. No, I'm honest. Like, sometimes the internationals, even Flex will say he got gassed because he was with the Moroccan team and he bought in Amrabat purely off what he saw at the World Cup, thinking, maybe the sample size. Flex is always missed the sample size with me, and sample size got him the hell out of here. So we can't use these. We can't use these international. Now it's nice when they do it. Like Lisandro doing well, it's good for me. But I'm looking at Lisandro's, path because he's staying fit. He's actually playing football.
It's a long preseason.
That's all you care about.
It's a long preseason.
That's all I care about. I'm like, you know what?
He needs this. He needs this.
He's staying fit, and well done, Lisandro.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And it's the bonus that he's actually playing good and he's starting, because in the World Cup he wasn't starting.
Yeah,
he was coming in, and then now he's the main guy.
Now he's
but we did it with Garnacho towards the end of last season. I'm glad you brought up Garnacho earlier on. Like the kid. I know, and a lot of people say, grown man plays Man United, but this was his first full season for Manchester United. His breakthrough season was the season prior, and even that really began in earnest in October, November, just before the World Cup. Yeah, exactly. So this was his first full season. He was consistently available. He was playing games toward the end of the season when he shouldn't have, because he was clearly absolutely exhausted. He was scoring goals, and again, first full season, and already towards the end of it, we're like, is he really going to be all that? And you're like, who knows if he's going to be all that? But he's got to get the chance. You know what I mean? He's got to get. I don't know if I go as far as 7. I was still an advocate for resting there.
But you know what? What did you say?
I wish you gave him the 7. I wish you gave him that instead of Mason. I wish Garnacho got it instead of Mason Mount.
Oh, Garnacho.
I wish he got it instead of Mason Mount. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look. Based off last year, he deserves it more.
It's like seeing the 7 on the pitch,
and he's got it. Yeah, exactly. but this season, don't worry, Mason's going to be there.
Where's he going to play, Flex?
Well, that's up to the manager. I don't know, but he's gonna be fit and he's gonna be.
Where would you play him?
Imagine him playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's.
I would have him.
He would immediately
play him on the right. Play him on the right.
On the right.
Play him on the right. Play him on the left. Play him if we want to have 2 8s.
So you don't want to start Ahmed. You don't want to start Ahmed.
Sometimes. Want depth, don't we?
It's interesting. It's interesting what's going on there now. I want to say this. I find this wait, the interest that I'm having in this moment right now, innit? Because it's like he's like, listen, guys, next season, Mason Mount.
I said he's going to be there. The manager pick him. The manager bought him. I'm talking about the fitness.
No, mate.
He's going to be there available.
All right, Flex. I want you to step back for a second. And I want you to say, look, we're just talking about the number 7. And I said, I'd like to see the number 7, available like in the team.
Play every game.
Yeah. What you've done is you put him out on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And then he said, put him out on the left. Then you're
he's
like...
a multifunctional player because he can play all them positions.
Well, here's the one.
Play on the left, play on the right. He can.
Here's the better way of saying it.
Midfield
Our strongest starting 11. I understand it's a squad game, so he's very useful to have in a squad. I think we'd all agree on that.
Yeah.
But our strongest starting 11, does that include Mason Mount?
No, not right now. Of course it doesn't. Because how can it? How can it? He's been out the whole season.
But
he's been out the whole season.
Can it in the future?
Well, you can't say no. Because now he's going to be fit. The manager could do the plan that he always had. You don't know.
What do you think? What was that plan?
I think it was to have 2 8s. I think it was to have... personally, I think it was.
Casemiro
you see how we start. You see how we saw it. How at the beginning. So obviously, Kobe wasn't there. So I think maybe Casemiro starts coming out, and what we see is I don't want to see Kobe that deep, but I think as just a straight midfield 3, not just you're just a 10, so you get forward. No, you're all a midfield 3, and essentially you kind of got 2 8s. That's how I think.
Do you think he thought Kobe was going to be in the Frankie role, basically? Do we think? Because
then
to this
now
day,
Kobe's changed that now.
He still gets brought up over and over again, Frankie doing. And I know it's like a bit of a meme at this point, but I think he does get brought up in the sense of I still don't think Eric Ten Hag has found that version of the player that he was looking for initially. And he's a bit like,
do you reckon it's looked at Kobe? Because again, when we look at what we're trying to do with the Ugarte thing, because Owen, I'm with you.
Failed at PSG, don't get him, mate. Failed at PSG, can't get him.
Start the big games, mate.
Yeah. It's mad, and if your player doesn't play internationally, he's not good enough. But Facundo plays every game for Uruguay and doesn't play for us.
Failed at Bayern.
We're 8th, and we're supposed to be able to go and get the starters from people like Real Madrid.
Why aren't we getting Mbappe? Why aren't we getting Mbappe?
Sorry.
That's crazy.
What I was going to get to on that midfield thing, is we're bringing in Ugarte. Apparently, this is what we want to do. I feel like Kobe's moving forward, and Bruno is the solid team. Is really going to be, by the looks of things, Ugarte, Kobe, and Bruno. And I think that'll be our best in terms of, on paper, what they're trying to design, our best midfield 3.
If Ugarte comes.
If he comes, I think that's what...
What do you think happens? I know we brought him up earlier on, but what do you think happens with Holand next season? Because in your chat with Kevin Hatchard, Flex, and from what people are sort of saying online about Joshua Zirkzee, they're sort of saying, well, he's not a number 9 in the traditional sense of a number 9. And actually, he's maybe not really like a goal scorer. It's kind of a bit more of a sort of Firmino-esque, you know what I mean? When it's like a kind of
I need to see
false 9-ish. Actually, he's more there to link up play, which would link more into how Eric ended the season with sort of going, actually, I would kind of prefer just more of a player that can bring sort of Bruno into the game, bring the wingers into the game. And then does that mean then this coming season, Hoyland's sort of more off the bench than he was maybe last season, which might be the best thing for him, by the way.
That's what I was going to say. I said it during the season, even when Hoyland was doing good, because he went through doing awful, then he done all right, then he did awful again, then he injured. He's had an up and down time, bless him. He really did have a tough time, and like you said, Owen still finished top goal scorer.
But still,
done okay, 100%. Classic done okay, he did. But I never subscribed to the thing of like, right, we've had a look at Rasmus now. We quite like him. Whatever happens, whoever comes in must play second fiddle to him. We can't stop his development. Rasmus must start all the time. No. I don't I'm not hell bent on like the individual player, apart from Kobe, which we all agree with. I'm not hell bent on like one guy must start the thing, huh?
And Garnacho. Golly, he's
Yeah, and Garnacho, but yeah, no, I love him, but I'm saying like if he has to like, yeah, like I'm not. That's what I'm saying. But I'm like Kobe. No, he needs to play the game like he's the best.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not hell bent on like one guy must get all the accolades because he has to be the main guy. To be honest, I mean this with the greatest of respect. I couldn't give a shit. I just want what's best for the team. And if Rasmus is best, you know, having some of the burden off his shoulders and only having half the starts that he had this year, great. I don't care. Like, he's at Man United. We got to find a balance between helping him learn, which is just as important as stepping out of the picture and looking in, as it is being thrown out to the lions in sink or swim and wrestling defenders every week, can't get a touch of the ball and this, that, and the other. And a balance of giving him experience and he's getting better. So he's more clinical. He's more used to the league. It's all in a way. And Xerxes young as well. So it's the same thing.
I think it's really going to be this where it's two players battling out for a position, but it gives us options. There's so many games and you have to use your squad. With the amount of subs that you can use in a game, it makes sense having what we didn't have is another way to shift things and change things up. What we was relying on is late runs from McTominay into the box, crashing in there and scoring. We don't want to play that way. We don't really want to do that. So I believe that this is, I know people hate the term, but phase 3 in terms of a new way or get a new option. Like, I honestly feel, even with the Mason Mount thing, I believe Mason Mount's going to be someone that will be used off the bench more so than the first, like the immediate first team. It all depends in terms of, I don't know if we've got enough time, what happens with Bruno.
Well, and also, like you said, with Mason Mount, some games he'll start, some games he won't. It's a bit like particularly with midfield players, it's very difficult to play the same midfield constantly throughout the season. It's just, you
have to be very, very, very good.
Yeah, exactly.
The top teams do kind of have it though.
But you see, like,
you know mainly what it's going to be.
Even like with Liverpool, when they changed the midfield last season, you get things in where it's like, okay, McAllister's in today or Szoboszlai's out. I don't get mainly through injury, but this player's out. Endo, he's out now. Like that's just going to happen. So you need those options. Which
that's why we haven't made a decision on Amrabat. That's why we haven't made a decision on Amrabat. They say that they still can't make.
That's weird. It's so weird, isn't it? Because clearly that's expired at this point. So it's like, what's happening?
Nah, he's got to just go in it. They have to. You know what it is? It's straight up. They have to just. Yeah, they liked it. It's just.
They really liked him. You know, they honestly.
We have to just wait, see what targets we can get. If we've got enough P's to keep your thing permanent, we'll do it.
But does that run out? Surely that runs out at some point.
What thing costing 20 million?
Yeah.
Trigger
it by some date. Because then if you go back into Fiorentina and go, right, we're going to get him, they'll go, that ran out, 25.
But I don't think the finances are flowing at Fiorentina. They're like, oh, wait, don't worry, go on, you lot figure it out. You know what I mean?
But they might then be like, well, we'd like to know, because if you're not going to get him, then we can shop him out elsewhere. Someone else might be willing to pay for it.
Yeah, very true.
Not going to wait for us.
We got like 4 minutes left, yeah? I wanted to talk about something quickly as well.
Yes, Flex, we're going to win the league. I know you're going to say it. Yes, we're going to win the league. Said's going to be happy.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, the Euros, going to win the Euros? Said that last week.
No, yeah. And we're still in the competition, mate. So, you know, argue yourself, mate.
When does this come out? Today.
Yeah, exactly. Newcastle FC fans. I ain't calling you Newcastle United. I ain't calling you Newcastle United.
Plus FC.
Yeah. Newcastle FC fans. We don't care about you.
Yeah.
Please stop trying to force this new rivalry. Last time I checked, we beat you 2-0 in your cup final. Last time I checked, you're going to be twiddling your thumbs midweek with no Europe. I don't know what it is. Last time I checked, yes, of course, you got all the money. You got some good players. You're doing well. You're doing your thing. Last time I checked, we are still a massive football club and you are still not. Last time I checked, you're new to this thing of going in the right direction. Most of what I've seen is you, man, with your tops off, sometimes in the championship, sometimes not, cussing out Mike Ashley for many, 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 many years. We're not rivals. I don't know how
this cups, really big mug.
It was going to be, your thing was going to be called Sports Direct Arena. Now, we've got our own in-house problems going on with the Glazers and we're trying to do our thing. We've got our number one priority, which was Daniel Ashworth, not for the 20 million that you wanted, but for half of that, because we said we're not giving you that. So that means you did not get what you wanted. You now have Paul Mitchell, which is a fantastic assignment. Please enjoy your assignment and stop talking to us. We do not care.
Not on the same level, to be honest. I think it's that speech. I think it's the Keegan speech.
And you know what though? Don't get me wrong. You finished above us. Like, your team's good. I'm not even doing the whole your shit. I'm not even doing that. What I'm saying is we just don't care about you. Just do your own thing. Like,
I think it's honestly, it's the Keegan speech. You know, the Keegan speech meant more to them than it did to us. Because we've never thought about Newcastle and thought, you know what, that rivalry with these lot. But they do look at us and say, hey, guys, it's like, I wonder if QPR have that with Chelsea. And Chelsea are like, we don't even know when you play.
Chelsea don't even have that with Fulham.
Yeah, we don't even like, bless you lot. It's low.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. We're so far from each other as well. It makes no sense.
Honestly, and we're even further because we're all from London. So imagine how and the thing is, I actually, the worst thing about this is, I like Newcastle's team. I like Eddie Howe. Like Isak's wicked, and you know, Bruno. Like, I don't have no gripes, but I just keep seeing you lot. We pulled their pants down.
It's very one-sided, isn't it? And it even comes from Newcastle themselves. Remember that post they put out on Twitter when they beat us in the Premier League? Yeah. And they were like, the real something like that. Then they didn't win a game for like...
You remember that Bruno, when we had that the real Bruno Guimaraes conversation?
Bro, we went Wembley when it really mattered to you, when you said you'd give up your whole fourth place trophy for a Carabao Cup. We slapped you up 2-0 in second gear, mate. I got out of Wembley and I went, it was better beating Barcelona on Thursday. That was a bit it's just like this year we won the FA Cup. You still ain't won enough. Like, but if we're just not the same.
If you ask United fans, like after a Premier League weekend or whatever, most United fans, they know what happened with Liverpool. They know what happened with City that weekend. They'll know because they're rivals. You keep your eye out, you know, that kind of stuff. If you ask them how did Newcastle get on, first of all they go, "Why are you asking me?" And then two, they'll be like, "I don't know." Like, I don't care. Well, they'll be like, "Did they play Liverpool City?" They go, "No, I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. Look, I'm not doing the because a Newcastle fan can say, "Oh, typical United." Because what they're doing is, you just can't take that you're not big anymore. You're not. It's not anymore.
Even. It's just not a thing. It's just not
like. Guess what? We are competing. We're in terms of in the league. We're competing with you for top 4 and stuff. We are. Like, I get that. But in terms of like how Man United fans, we've done this above.
You know, you only have competition with people that win stuff. I'm not going to take the piss. When was the last time they win stuff? Not even, and this is not me being facetious or being a prick. Like, have they? When was the last time? It was a
long time ago.
It might be 50s. Let me double check.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Get out. Move, man. It's unnecessary.
But not including the championship because they came back up. So yeah.
No, I'm talking like the
top trophy.
Like, a top trophy. FA
like 50, because I remember when he done the thing with Matty Redknapp, he was like, it's not gonna be our first trophy for 50 years.
Come on, man. That's you can't.
You're not something like that.
You're not like
I think it's a long time.
Mad, bro. That's like me having a
FA Cup 1955.
Okay, so here this year, that's like me honestly having a personal beef, with I don't know.
Excuse me, Intercity's Fairs Cup 1969.
Okay, literally, this is like
what that is.
This is like me trying to win more Oscars than somebody that is clearly winning Oscars all the time. Yeah, I'm not even in the race.
That's like KG.
You're trying to go to Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, KG's beefing with Meryl Streep. going every single time she wins,
I'm like,
he gets nominated. He goes, Meryl, see, look at her. I bet she feels terrible.
That's how stupid it is.
You're trying to catch up on the Grammys.
Come on, stop this.
It's just. I just had to finish off by saying because I saw it yesterday.
KG's big rivalry with Tom Hanks.
That's a one. He's gone and done Castaway.
Yeah.
What? When did we become? What's this?
Has Tom Hanks been in a Sky original comedy? I don't think so.
Exactly. An Apple original. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think he cries himself to sleep.
100%. 100% fucking Forrest Gump. Piss off. Anyway, that was episode 23 of Trinity, powered by Dango. We've got a lot off our chests. Basically, we realized that we're happy that Ten Hag is extended, but we kind of broke down. It's not as much extension as we thought. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We also told Newcastle fans we don't care.
Not really extension, is it?
Discuss Rashford. Yeah. Oh, he's going to be. Wait a minute. Wait. Well, he didn't sign a new contract, did he?
Not really. New contract, is it?
Well, it's not really. Well, is it really backing him then? Is it really backing?
Wait a minute,
guys. Wait a minute. Hold on. What do you call it? We're out of here. Take care. We'll see you soon. Peace.
There you go.